Hey everybody, welcome to the next episode of Wilkinson Sports Cards. Here to give you an update in October. Um, I will say eBay sales have been down. Talking to other sellers, it sounds like that's kind of across the board. Um, so not sure what's causing that. With that, I've started to look into other avenues. I did go back into Whatnot, and I found a niche for myself, actually selling wrestling cards on there. Um, there's a lot more people doing like the major sports, but not a lot of people doing wrestling, so I think I'm going to kind of turn that into my niche, and I'm going to try to do some weekly to bi-weekly shows on there. Um, so that's with the eBay being down, I've had to find other ways. I will say Collects has been pretty stable. I've sold a good amount of cards on there. Um, but I did do a couple of wrestling shows, had some good success, actually made money on them. So I had my first money making shows, made some good money off 2 lots that I had purchased off Facebook. And then today, I got into a vintage group on Facebook and saw that they do what's called fire sales, um, where you kind of have cards listed, like 9 cards on a thing, and people can go on and claim them. And I was able to unload some of the more like kind of common cards, which helped. So overall, I had bought a lot of 87 WWF tops and 91 WCW, and I'm already, for what I paid for it, I'm already ahead. So everything I make after this now will be um, just pure profit. So that was good to have that success. Um, I've also been selling some of the stuff just from that I got from like the card show. Some of that's going really well. I'm surprised with a few cards. I thought they'd go more, like some of the Bobby Witts and things like that. But basketball's been. I thought I was going to sell more of that. That's been going a little slower with the season starting. Maybe as the season gets going, it'll pick up more. Another success I had, I did my first PSA submission directly with PSA. I sent in 3 cards. I had a coupon for $50 off, so it was only $45 after shipping to submit those. And I'm happy to say that I ended up making about 20 bucks after selling all 3 cards. All 3 cards sold really quick. 2 of them were PSA 10s, as you saw. One was a 9. And those sold. I sold the last one um, today, actually. So those did really well. So I made some good money there grading some cards I had bought. Made money on them, so that's the goal. So I did better with them than I did with SGC. SGC, I was down about $30. I had about 90 into it altogether. I do have 1 card left. It's a Pedro Martinez, but it doesn't really seem to be moving. Um, the other thing I noticed is some of my um, graded cards that I have from not the major companies aren't really moving, so I'm kind of continuing just to lower the prices on them. And one of them's an Ellie De La Cruz, who's one of the hotter um, baseball players, but just the card just hasn't gone yet. I'm sure it will soon. Other successes, I did have a little bit of success. I did do a sports card show. I had gotten some really good deals on Whatnot from one buyer. So I started selling some of that. I sold one of the lots that I had together for eBay, so that saved me from doing the listing on there. So like I said, finding other avenues has been helpful. Um, Doing this Facebook group, I think I'm going to try and get into other groups since I saw the success of. Um, I had joined a vintage group. You can sell cards on there before 1993. That's where I'm doing the fire sale. I was able to sell off the rest of my WrestleMania cards. I'm selling some of my WCW that I have left. Um, and then selling just some, like, it's all either 25 cents or 10 cents. So just some of the cards I had on like buysportscards.com that haven't really been moving, given looks like people were really liking being able to get them for a quarter, which is what I would sell them for on there. So this will be my first experience kind of shipping without like a platform. I'll just have to do it myself, which won't be a problem. But it'll be, getting money from people and things like that. I did have one incident. I went to buy a lot from somebody, and they got my money first off Venmo, which was my mistake, and they ended up blocking me after they got the money, sent me on a goose chase to some random house. There was an old man that lived there, so they I don't know if they lived in the area or I don't know if they lived across the street. But I did do the goods and service, so I'm hoping I should get that money back. Hopefully soon. I got to talk to Venmo more about that because it's been over a week, and I've got the dispute in. So that's one thing I learned from now on. I'm not sending any money if it's a face-to-face until I see this stuff in person. Um, One cool thing on Whatnot, there's someone who is actually in the area. They live in St. Paul. I live in a suburb of St. Paul. So their purchase, I didn't even have to ship. We just met up in a parking lot, and then I ended up buying some stuff from him. So we did some exchange, and that was cool. I'm just kind of meeting more people, which has also been really cool. The guy bought the wrestling cards from the WrestleMania, the '87 WWF and the WCW. Keeping in touch with him, and then also this new gentleman now off Whatnot. Um, so it's cool just kind of getting to know people that are, selling cards and that sort. And I'm starting to gain a little bit of a following on Whatnot, which is good. It makes me want to get more cards, especially more wrestling cards, getting stuff that I can, have shows with, because I know it'll sell, especially if I can get it, for cheap. Selling on there, it's really about, you get about 60% of what you sell, but even for what I sold on there, I made good money. So that's really about it. I'm probably slowing down. I'm not gonna buy as much right now. Um, I've added a little bit to the PC. I'm doing some more Kareem Abdul-Jabbar cards. Um, I did just get this Triple H today. Um, this is what I bought from the guy off Whatnot. But I think for this month, gonna take it easy on PC purchases. I might try and buy a couple small lots to be able to do some stuff either on Whatnot or on eBay. I'm just gonna kind of continue to keep listing on eBay, but probably not going overboard because I'm right in the middle right now of, do I go up to the next store subscription on there, which the one I'm paying for now is $5 a month, but it goes up to $20. But then I wouldn't have to pay for any listings over $250. Last month I paid about $8 for the listings I had that were over $250. So it doesn't justify yet because it's only about $13. Um, Once it gets closer, I think to like the $17, $18 range, I'll probably just move up to the next store level. Then I won't have to worry, and I can just list as much as I want, because I have been a little bit conscious about it, not wanting to have too many insertion fees, so, and that just kind of cuts into your profits. or if I know it ahead of time and it's coming out at the beginning of the month, I know it'll get covered later. So, but that's kind of my update for October. So even though eBay's kind of down, I've had some successes putting myself out there, finding a niche. Um, and it's something I enjoy. I've always loved wrestling, so and the cards are actually really cool now compared to when I was a kid. Um, I wish I had the cards from when I was a kid because those are going for a lot right now from what I've seen the classic, like 1990 classics. But yeah, so I please subscribe, and then I'm gonna post. I've got on my homepage. I got um, links to my eBay store, collects by sportscards.com. You can look at any of my stuff there. You can always come on Whatnot. I'm gonna put a link if you're new to Whatnot. You can get a free $15 just to go on. You don't even have to use it with me. You can use it wherever. But it is a cool place to buy stuff, even beyond sports cards. Clothing, movies, um, everything. They got makeup. I mean, they got holiday stuff. It's pretty cool, and you can get stuff at a pretty decent price, and you can kind of see it live in video. So, but thank you, and I hope everyone has a good week, and I'll see you down the road.